Yes. What's good, sir?
Man, what is good, bro?
A lot of things has happened. A lot has gone on through the week, my nigga. A lot has gone on through the week.
I feel you, brother. I feel you, man.
A lot has gone on through the week.
Feel you, man.
Let's go ahead and go and get this jump started.
Yes, sir.
It's good to see you, my nigga. Now, I will go ahead and start off and say that
Likewise.
It's good to see you, my nigga. So, a lot going on.
Brother.
So, you know.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Likewise, brother. Likewise, man.
Buckethead boys in the building. We are here. What's goody? What's good? I am your host, Jason JWILLDOES. Yeah, we ain't start off with cracks and jokes and shits and giggles or anything like that. We're gonna have to warm up into this joint again. It ain't been such a happy week. It ain't been such a happy 2 weeks. So let's go ahead and go and get it. I am your host, Jason JWILLDOES. And I got Mr. Gilligan's Island himself. Mr. Gilligan's Island himself. Ivan, the Grizzly, the Great.
That will be me.
And we are the Off on a Tangent podcast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let me start off. I know people is like, man, what happened, man? I thought y'all was out of here. Yeah, I know we didn't have an episode for y'all last week. Man, so much was going on.
Yeah, man.
Family things. I kind of felt, and you know, it was kind of ironic. I kind of just felt, it felt like it was the mode to just, put a pause on things. Everybody been putting a pause on things. The NBA, watch Kenny Smith was like, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Fuck that shit. I'm out of here, guys. Jacob Blake being shot 7 times in the back. My nigga just, hey, getting in the car. Shoot a nigga in the back 7 times. Hey, now I can see like shooting a nigga 1 time by mistake or something. It was like the nigga made the mistake and was just like, oh, bow, 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 bow. Yeah, let me go on here, just might as well go and finish it off. But yeah, you got that. It was kind of overwhelming last week for me, man.
Last week. Yeah. It was.
My dad ended up having to go to the hospital. It's kind of weird. It's kind of when you see your parents weak. I know he might have something to say about me even making mention of it. You know what I'm saying? But we are at an age where like, and now he doesn't have the corona or anything like that. But when your parents get up in age, just simple or minor little things, accidents, things like that or whatever, like they can cause accidents by doing simple little things or whatever like that, right? So I just say always make sure you are no, mute your microphone. But just always say, keep.
That's my hard-headed daughter. That's the hard-headed one. The other ones, they already know not to do that. That's the one that she want to try it anyway. You know what I'm saying?
She wants to see what dad doing. She wants to see what dad doing, and she's doing exactly what I'm saying. Hey, check on your dads, check on your mom, check on your people. Make sure they are. Make sure they are good standing. Make sure. Hey, hell, make sure that they cool mentally, because I mean, this whole COVID thing, this whole being locked in the crib, this whole not being able to associate, not being able to kick it with their friends. We forget that they got friends. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, just all of that. Just make sure you check up on your people. This whole. So, all right. Hey, you know what? The week before that, having the issue with my mom. So it was like, it's just all kind of stuff just piled on top of that, stress. Then you sit up here looking on the news.
Mm-hmm.
My first question is, what makes something go more viral than the other? Because just before that Jacob Blake jump, I saw the police had killed somebody in Louisiana. My nigga was he was walking out. Now, I don't know the whole ordeal. I'm seeing the police pull up. This nigga was just walking up the street or whatever like that. I heard he has mental issues or whatever like that, but he walked up right before the police pull up at the gas station. Dude ain't even really like pull up to the door. He pulls on the door. They lit his ass up.
Mm-hmm.
This Jacob Blake thing, from my knowledge, how the story go with social media and everything like that, my nigga was breaking up a fight.
Mm-hmm. That's already breaking fight up.
Not being threatening. Don't have a weapon.
Yep.
Police arrive. How I'm looking at it, police arrive. Oh, okay, y'all get it. Let me go ahead and walk away.
Mm-hmm.
Police got the guns on this nigga. Like, hey, what the fuck? Okay. And he's still walking away.
Mm-hmm.
You got your guns drawn on
unnecessary. The nigga. Yeah. Like, it's unnecessary.
Like I was even listening to Robert Orr. Was one thing I didn't even think about. In most situations, they first thing, they already got their taser out. They got guns drawn.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so unnecessary. Like, it's so unnecessary. It's unnecessary. In every single case that we're saying, it's unnecessary to show up to a scene. And the first thing in your head is to pull out a weapon. You know, like, it makes no sense because there's no threat. You know, there's no threat. Especially if somebody's walking away from you, even if you tell them to stop.
Right.
I would much rather, if I'm if I'm supposed to be, which if we relate what the police job is supposed to be, right? Because I remember Dick Gregory used to say that cop means conscious on patrol. And years ago, it meant constable on patrol, which is the constable. The constable is supposed to be the person that kind of reminds people to not do stuff, right? Not execute judgment or execute them. It's supposed to be the individual that reminds you to stay in line with the law. And so that's not what's happening. You have people pulling up to the scene. You got police officers pull up to the scene with shotguns out. Like, I mean, why you showing up with a shotgun, bro? Like, what? Ain't nobody packing. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's threatening you and said, we want to fight with the police or nothing like that. And somebody's breaking up a fight. It gets shot in the back. It gets not just shot in the back, but shot in the back close range.
Right.
7 times in front of his kids, man. Like, there are ways to de-escalate a situation. There are so many ways to de-escalate a situation without physically harming somebody. And it's amazing to me that we got people.
I'm sorry to interrupt on that, but man, you have seen dozens of videos
Yeah.
of police apprehending niggas without using lethal force.
Dude, the what's his name?
My nigga, I've seen a 18-year-old boy with the AK-47. He lit up 2 people and walked past the police like, so no.
Dylan Roof didn't get shot.
I've seen, or I ain't gonna say I've seen, but here I've heard stories of the dude who I can't remember who he killed, but they took this nigga to McDonald's to go get a sandwich.
It was Dylan Roof.
Okay, so
Roof. Yeah, they took him to Burger King. They took him to Burger King and got him something to eat.
So they didn't lump the nigga. They didn't lump the nigga up. They didn't maim him. They ain't shoot him or anything like that. But so it's the simple fact to say this is the reason why people say that we say Black Lives Matter. Because when everybody say that all lives matter bullshit, it's not. You can't literally say that all lives don't, because you can look and see that niggas or black people are not apprehended the same.
No. We're not even apprehended. We're executed on site. We're not apprehended. We're executed on site. So there's no chance.
Wondering why niggas run. You're like, why is he running?
Exactly.
Grow with black skin and wonder why niggas be running. I feel like this. It's like being downtown and the mob start running. Are you gonna see the next question is why everybody running? Or you just go run? So when you're a child, you're not gonna really ask questions. Hey, why everybody running? After a while, you're gonna draw conclusions. Hey, white police car, everybody running. Oh, okay, everybody running, guys.
Man, it's called context clues, man. Context clues, man. When them context clues show up, and then after a while, you just realize, man, like it wasn't normal for us when we was even outside playing back in the day. if a cop pulled up, especially if they pulled up on some aggressive stuff, man, we broke out.
Right. Because you ain't drilling me, or you ain't pinning none of that shit on me.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
because you will get some shit pinned on you. So fuck out of here.
Right. I'm talking about right out the bat. You know what I mean? So, I mean, man, I just it's I've tried not to. Go ahead. I'm just saying I've tried not to allow it to bother me or weigh me down. Just because I know that there's a reason why a lot of this stuff is happening. I ain't figured it out 100% yet, but there's a reason why we are seeing so much of this, and it's being exposed on a global scale, on a global level, not just nationally, but on a global level. So I know there's a reason why we're seeing it, and it's not necessarily, it's not being shown for us to become desensitized to it, because we'll never be desensitized to it, because it's still bothering us from Trayvon till now. You know what I'm saying? From Emmett Till to now. You know what I'm saying? It's still bothering us. It still makes us upset. We're still talking about it. We're still pushing for a change. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like we're forgetting it or it's going away or we think it's okay. We're still just as upset, just as mad as we were when all those things are going on. I also think that this is a time of revelation. This is a time of revelation. We're seeing people's true colors. We're seeing the situation what is really real about being here and being in this country. So, we were talking via text earlier, referencing the statement that Doc Rivers made. Shout out to Doc Rivers.
Hold a bit. Before you go there, I do want to say to something that you just said, which is about it's just things that just being revealed. And I just gotta say, I fuck with who fuck with me. And this year kind of is showing it.
Yeah.
Those who really fuck with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So one, I didn't want us to go ahead and get this far on a tangent, but I do want to say, hey, a break is needed. That break was needed. If the day ones are still listening, if you're still there, again, we appreciate you. Thank you for even tuning back in, that we're here, that we're back. Like I said, the break is needed, man. The break was needed. Yeah. The break was, because real talk, I probably would have been on this joint yelling. Or I probably would have been like some bipolar weather. I've been on here hollering, yelling, screaming, crying. They're like, why is this nigga on here crying? What is going on? Man, Sam, man, I love you, dog. Damn, man. So, nigga emotions all over the place. But I will say not to all of us, all men should pretty much, you should real talk, you should have you a spot or a place or someone where you can vent and air out your emotions and that be cool. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Where ain't nobody joning you because you in an emotional place. Right. But being able to get that out, being able to cry, being able to get your anger off, being able to get, if you're able to have that, we should be fine. You'll be fine. I'll put like this. So get it out. Go ahead and get it out. If you feel like you have that safe place to do so, go ahead and let it go. Right. You need to, or my nigga, you gonna pop. Mm-hmm. Real talk. I promise you, my nigga. I was almost at the hospital about to blow that joint up. But playing with me, man. You gonna let us see you, cause I feel like this. They had the joint where, which I understand the policies or whatever like that. But if you got somebody who ain't never been to the hospital or whatever like that, I need somebody to be able to watch over him. Right. You know what I'm saying? We need to be able to see him. We need to be able to see, his report is the same. Right. What the fuck is the same? Right. Now, I bet, all right, if I can't come up there, or if you can't let me get no video of him up in there, I'm finna come up there. What do you mean? You gonna see me? Right. Well, sir, do you? All I said was like, bet. And if anybody in Memphis know, if a nigga that just say, bet, and don't say nothing else, and it's silence and nothing but air at the end of the phone, if you're a real ass nigga, you're welcoming it. But if not, you might as well be like, so yeah, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and make this call. Hi, I do have a chance to video your dad. Here we go. Don't play every 2 hours video. Like, man, quit playing. But they understood a bit, man. Exactly. You understood what it meant. Within 15 minutes, there was another phone call happening. And that's another thing, is like people don't respect. They really want you to act a nigga first. Mm-hmm. You have to show the nigga card. Why have, it's like when you're nice, when you're the respectable black person, or you're the respectable black guy, you're like, So you mean there's no way that I can speak with him? You mean there's no way that I can see him at any point in time? I mean, you mean there's not even a way that I can just come up there and give him something, or just to see him for a quick 15 minutes? No. Nah. We don't. I'm like, word? Okay. All right. And you keep trying to get to a person's empathy, and they just be like, nah.
Right.
You like, all right, bitch. Come on. So you telling me now a nigga gotta get loud. Now a nigga gotta start acting the fool. Now a nigga gotta be in like, okay, bet. I'm finna be up there. Sir, what do you mean by that? Just know I'm finna be up there. You gonna see me live and in person, bitch. Oh. Click up. Seven minutes later, my mama called. Hey, we are able to have a video call. Now, mind you, I didn't say the last part. The last expletive was something that I just threw on there on this. I didn't call her out of her name, but at the same time, it's like you got to start getting loud, because at the end of the day, you ain't really got to cuss a nigga out, but you can say words in a way where niggas know, like,
that you mean business.
Okay, this nigga ain't playing. And it even sounds scarier that you ain't cursing nobody out. When you start talking like Jay Prince, when you learn how to talk like Jay Prince for a little bit, otherwise, like, hey, what is he? It didn't sound like a threat, but I'm kind of nervous.
Wait, that's the relaxed tone. When you're relaxed, people don't know what to expect from you. And I think people by nature are afraid of the unknown.
Right.
So when they don't know what's coming, or they don't know if it's coming or how it's coming or whatever, people are more terrified.
Okay. All right.
And that makes them be like, well, let me reach out and find out what's going on. You know, it's just like, man, so your girl asks you a question and you be like, I don't know. I don't be like, I ain't do such sister. She'd be like, oh, okay then. And she turn around and walk off.
Yep. As soon as you say, okay then. Oh, okay is not something that you want to hear from me. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay then. Okay. Well, don't worry. Oh, don't worry about it. I got it.
Or
don't worry about it.
Don't let her know. Don't let her start saying bet. When she say bet,
she say bet, your heart finna be broke.
We were talking about the ghosting episode. We had the ghosting episode. My nigga, your gal is a ghost now.
You just don't know it. You don't even know it.
You don't even know it.
Dead man walking.
She'll still text you randomly. She'll still text you and everything. We're like, ghost. So I do want to say to the fans, listeners, day ones, thank you for allowing us to have a break real quick. Thank you for allowing me to have a break real quick. Everything's good. Everything's better space. So we can get to the shits and the giggles. But while we get into the shits and giggles, back to what you were talking about, you're speaking on Doc Rivers, which I'm sure, which onto our point. Why the hell do we continue to love a country that don't give a shit about us?
Okay, so I have I have some pretty different thoughts about that. I really don't think we love aspects of American culture. I really don't think we love this country, like the way that somebody would actually love a person or a place or a home. I think we love aspects of American culture, because it's Western culture, right?
Does America have a culture though?
America has a culture. Yeah, absolutely. America has a culture. It definitely does.
America has a culture of stealing other cultures.
Well, that's European, but that happened way before America. That's a European thing. Stealing other people's stuff is a European thing. So that's, you're right about that. But even when you steal other people's stuff, your culture, within that culture, you have subcultures. And once those are established, of course, as people grow and, your kids grow up through it, you get accustomed to it and it becomes a part of your lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So it's repetitive, if you will. So again, like, I totally understand what Doc is saying. But I don't necessarily think from the basis of actually loving the U.S. I really don't think in totality we love the U.S. I think we just love aspects of U.S. culture and American culture, and meaning the difficulty that we have a lot of times accepting, things like African spirituality, or accepting things that are outside of what we grew up being taught, right? And so, in context of what he was saying, I get it totally. Like, we fight in wars, we, work the good American jobs, we produce, we try to fit inside the ecosystem of America as it pertains to economics, right? We learn the stock market, we participate in the holidays, right?
Man, this microphone's so big.
Education.
It got a shadow, my nigga. Do you see this shadow right here?
Hey, I see it, man. Man, that microphone can wear a chain in. You can put a chain on that joint and a jacket. But so I understand, like, I get it.
You need to be included in participants.
Man.
Ivan, J. Will, and Black Mike.
Stupid, man. You stupid. This boy on that medicine. So, man, like, I think
gotta be.
From what he was saying is true. Like, it really is true. We love a country that doesn't love us back. And so now what do we do with that? That's my question. What do we do with that? Like, what do we do with the statement that he made? How do we adjust our thinking? What are we supposed to love outside of that? So, and I know, some people may have an answer for that. I'm not really saying that for an answer. I'm just saying that it's definitely time to take his statement. Like, there was a great statement to make. Like,
right.
I almost think that God meant for him to say that when he said it, because a lot of people heard it, a lot of people saw it, and the emotion that came from Doc, and Doc has been successful, right? Doc has been a very successful Black man in America. You know what I mean? He's had a successful career as a basketball player, as a coach. He's, he has represented what we look at as far as successful Black fathers. You know what I'm saying? His a son plays in the NBA, you know what I'm saying, after him in his footsteps. He's had a blessed family. He's always been a part of the community. He's always been one of those people that, a lot of the younger coaches and a lot of younger players look up to, you know what I'm saying? And, so seeing the emotion, seeing the tears, and the just his response to the events that have been going on, like, just tell you how we really feel. Like, we're angry, we're upset, we're hurt, we're disappointed, we're, in some ways despondent, like, and, we're tired, right? Like, we're extremely tired.
Man, we want y'all to acknowledge the shit. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah. And I think the acknowledgement of it is cool. The
acknowledgement and change of policies to acknowledge that you see the shit. And right now it's like, right now
that's where we gotta go.
It's like it's a lot of brushing under the rug.
Well, like I said,
I was listening to a podcast and we still ain't got the Harriet Tubman bill yet. It's a lot of things that it's a lot of, and now what I mean by that is there's a lot of things that are said is going to be done or that we're going to do, or you'll even get an image of that's like, hey, we're going to do this for y'all. Nigga, we still ain't even got the Harriet Tubman bill.
You know what I think about that, and this is not just about Harriet Tubman. I'm really not even impressed with that.
All I'm saying is they're saying a lot of shit, but a lot of nothing is being done. It's just like, hey, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and it pacify us for a minute. But it's like it's back to around to what I'm saying is the acknowledgement. So it's almost like somebody pestering you and you just do something for them to be quiet and leave you alone, but you really not doing anything. Yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and go get that jump for you, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get that jump done for you, man. Yeah, man. All right, dude. Okay, all right, bet. Okay, cool. And nothing is being done. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Hey, what we gonna do? We gonna do this for you. We gonna do that for you. Nothing being done. Now it's like, dude, I'm hurting over here. My feelings being hurt. I got folks over here dying around me. I got folks over here in the hospital I can't talk to, I can't see, I can't this, I can't that. It's like, all right, okay, all right. And I also understand that saying that the I can't remember who said it a long time ago, but that saying the revolution will not be televised. And real talk, it's not televised, it's live.
Yeah.
It's right in this stuff right here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And the other thing is realizing the frustration that we have. You know, the change that we seek is going to take time because there's a lot of time to reverse the effects of what was done. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take time because when you talk about, you know, a country that was built on thievery and mayhem and misdirection that spanned a number of years, right? So in order to fix all of that, in order to fix, you know, even begin to fix that, it takes time. It takes time. You know, it takes the civil rights movement. It takes the BLM. It takes, you know, it takes education change. It takes women's rights. It takes all of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just one of those, you know, secluded moments in time to fix this vast time frame or period of injustice. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take time to fix. So, you know, I think that everything that we're seeing is a part of this particular process because now instead of people feeling like these things are being normalized, it's an aspect of people seeing what's real and what's been going on all the time, you know? So when we talk about, you know, police brutality, when we talk about civil rights, when we talk about human rights, when we talk about women, you know, women and children rights, those are things that we've been having issues with in this country for a very, very, very long time. So those things it's not surprising to see, you know, the dominoes fall the way that they are. Now, the important thing, I think, for us is to continue to be mad and to continue to be upset. You know, continue to be mad, continue to be upset, continue to be frustrated, because that's the only way that things will ever change. You know, what they say about inconvenience.
Will it change though? I mean,
because it will. Absolutely. There's no way. The way that this universe is set up, the way that this life is designed, it's like saying that you're going to live forever. You're not. You know, you're not going to live forever. Flowers bloom and they die. You know, the sun sets, it rises and sets. So everything has a cycle. You know, everything has a cycle. And so when that happens, you know, you have to realize and actualize that, you know, even, you know, it may not happen in certain lifetimes. It may not happen in your lifetime or mine, but it will happen. And so the thing that we have to continue to do again is to continue to be mad, continue to be upset, continue to protest, continue to vote, continue to push change and don't get tired, because those who are doing the oppressing, they bank on us getting tired. They bank on us being frustrated and quitting. They bank on us not taking the initiative of pushing for a better processes, of pushing for legislation change. So when that happens, you have to respond. Like, a response has to happen. So, and even talking more about the NBA, you know, when the guys stop playing and they say we're not going to play, it sends a message. And some people were asking, I saw a post earlier by a guy that said, you know, how is the people not playing ball going to change anything? And there's so many areas and aspects of movements of getting the attention.
It would have changed a lot if they did not continue the season like LeBron wanted to do.
Absolutely.
It would have changed a lot.
Absolutely. And I don't, you know, there's been some rumors about what happened and what they were deciding and all of that. I don't want to get into all of it because I don't know, but I know for sure that just kind of based on what he tweeted himself and what was being reported right away was that the Lakers and the Clippers were like, we're done for the season. We don't need to play no more.
Right.
Like, we don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't about basketball or making money. This is about bringing attention to an issue that is more important than the sport.
Right.
And so when they had the second meeting, because he walked out of the first meeting, you know, he walked out of the first one. He was like, man, ain't nothing for us to talk about. We need to start playing. And we need to tell these people, like, hey, y'all need to start speaking up more about this, not just us, but even team owners and organizations. Right. And so, you know, when the president and the vice president of the Players Union got together, they pretty much coerced to kind of talk guys back into getting back on the floor, which, you know, I don't know what the details about that was, but I'm assuming that they found some type of reason or some type of situation that they thought was better to go ahead and play and not sit. But I agree with you totally. I think that had they decided, hey, we're not going to walk back out on this floor, you know, like what Kyrie talked about earlier in the year, and it would have made a major impact because other sports had actually started following suit and they were stopping play.
Tennis,
and so
baseball, soccer,
yeah,
all of them. Yeah. We was like, hey, we ain't with this shit either.
Because even I think Naomi Osaka, she said that she wasn't going to play in the semifinals of the U.S. Open, and then she decided to go back and play afterwards. But she had decided she wasn't going to play. So I think that, you know, there is, when you look at players like, you know, back in the day, you know, Jim Brown quit when he was in the prime of his career to focus on, you know, civil rights. Dick Gregory, when he was in the prime of his comedy career, he quit to focus on civil rights and human rights. Right. You know, there was a time where, the black players decided that they weren't going to play or they were going to protest as they played. And it was a normal thing, you know, looking at Muhammad Ali, you know, he gave up his titles, you know what I'm saying? You know, in protest because he protested the Vietnam War. And so I think that there's a place for it. And I think that there are times where, you know, it has to be done to get the attention of the masses. And so looking at that from an economic standpoint, you know, there's losses of, you know, billions of dollars of revenue from the games not being played.
Sorry to spoiler, but the Heat beat the Bucks, man.
I didn't
Game
know the Heat
one.
was still playing. Oh, that's right. They did. Okay. That's
the
I didn't know
Heat
they
beat.
beat the. Wow.
Cause this is the second round of the playoffs.
See, it's kind of confusing because it's weird.
115-104. Sorry for spoilers who might be listening and like, oh damn, I was gonna watch the game later. But yeah.
No, I mean, it's kind of weird watching playoffs in August because the season they usually not playing right
y'all
now.
niggas wanted basketball, so y'all got basketball. Y'all wanted the playoffs to happen, so here you go. This is how you getting it. Hey, my other question with that in the NBA, do you think Portland got a curse?
Portland has a curse cow.
I think one, they had the opportunity. There was an opportunity to get ready to beat the Lakers, and Dame Lillard dislocates his finger or whatever it was, whatever injury that he had, and then they end up losing.
I don't know. I ain't never thought about that one. There's
always something that ends up happening right when they're on the cusp to be able to, because every season so far that I've seen them in, they have a great season to excel, to make it in several rounds in the playoffs. For whatever reason, in that first round, something happens. It's some type of an injury that always ends up happening during the playoff.
I don't know, man. It might be
McCollum or something.
Maybe they
McCollum, Hillard, somebody ends up getting hurt.
Maybe
Carmelo.
They need to do some. Melo been balling though.
This is
Melo
true.
been hooping.
Yeah.
Melo been like playing like old Melo. You know, he been playing like old Melo.
I can't say old Melo because old Melo never played defense. This Carmelo Anthony is playing defense now.
Man, that was the kind of disrespectful, man.
I'm just saying. This is a new Melo. This is a Melo who got the same game but got defense now.
You can't disrespect Melo, man. Melo's always had defense, bro. He just didn't use it. He just didn't use it.
Kind of like your game.
Oh man, that's terrible. Yeah, I always had offense and just didn't use it.
Yeah, I saw you what you had those bad hairy knees in the camera and shit, nigga. I'm like, why this nigga sitting in the chair like he Morgan Freeman or some shit, showing his ass, showing his knees? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, here on the reading hour.
Man, speaking of reading, sir.
Hey, you're horrible at segue, so let's see where speaking of reading.
Not tonight. No,
let's go.
Man, Lovecraft Country, brother.
Oh, you know what?
That show.
I'm glad we're on the same page because I was gonna say with that show, I don't think a lot of us Black people are even giving it props to watch it. This is a dope ass show.
It's only episode 3, and you got to realize a lot of people haven't even heard of it yet. A lot of people haven't heard because
I forgot it got to be like some celebrity or some influencer who got to tweet about it or post about it first, and then everybody catch on. Hey y'all, just listen here. This episode 3 came on yesterday.
Yeah, episode 3 came on yesterday.
Hey, this is a dope ass show. Lovecraft Country.
A lot of symbolism.
J.J. Abrams and Key Peele. That's all I gotta say. J.J. Abrams and Key Peele.
Jordan
of symbolism. Peele. You already know there's a lot of symbolism in this joint.
Yeah, Jordan Peele.
And the
Jordan Peele.
reason why I say there's a lot of symbolism, because if you really think about it, J.J. Abrams has a lot of symbolism in a lot of his stuff.
Uh-huh.
Especially with his Bad Robot line. Because, you know, he does I ain't gonna say X-Files, but he did the newer X-Files, which was Fringe. Fringe event always showed all these dope little, so yeah. Very dope.
It's a lot of symbolism in that show. You know, I'm a avid reader. I'm actually getting back and more into reading now.
So it was a book?
Yeah, it was a book first. And they took the book and basically reimagined the book. Not rewrote it, but just did a show where it reimagined the actual book. So, excuse me. And they just took it and kind of flipped it, you know, and they put a black twist on it, which is dope, I think. You know what I'm saying? So,
so what you think of it so far?
Man, so far it's like, you know, I'm a fan of sci-fi. I'm a fan of, you know, anything with any type of, you know, kind of double entendre meanings. You know what I'm saying? Anything with a lot of symbolism. I love it. It makes me think. It makes me go and research. And when I hear certain names, I do a little digging. I love shows that relate to that talk about history in some ways as well. So it's kind of like, in my opinion,
Prince Hall name came up several times in that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And so here, you know, even hearing that and hearing the description and kind of the backstory about Prince Hall is something that, you know, you probably wouldn't have seen or heard that in the TV show,
right?
10 years ago, 15 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Because it was kind of always talked about in a more kind of secretive tone, not necessarily like hidden, but kind of secretive tone, especially in the Black community. But to see that the character that Courtney B. Vance plays talk about that and give the history of Prince Hall, it was good to hear and see that, you know what I mean? So somebody, you know, will take that name, whether they're associated with the Masons or not, go and look it up and read the information, you know what I'm saying? And just talk about, like, you know, these are people who were significant in Black history, you know, in African history, you know what I'm saying? So go ahead.
What I'm digging about it right now is there's a theme that's being peeped. There's a theme that's being shown and put in your head that if you don't really peep it, it's probably going to go over your head. But there's something that's being said throughout this, John, which is just because they don't want you here, don't mean that you don't
belong.
That you don't belong. Or that you don't deserve it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff, like even researching things now. There's a lot of stuff that has been kept from us as Black people.
Right.
And it's still being kept from us. They'll let you see a little bit of things, a little bit of crumbs here and there. There's a plethora of things that once you gain knowledge of, you will exceed in advance.
Right. So you remember
the whole little birthright thing.
Oh yeah. So
that's just a whole little other. That's a whole little other thing. Like once you figure out your birthright of a lot of stuff, there's some things that you automatically deserved.
Right. So you remember the phrase that they used to teach us growing up, especially like in any kind of church setting, when you know better, you do better.
Right.
But you got to know first. So information is power, knowledge is power. You know, the more you know, the more you grow. You remember we used to hear all that stuff too, right? You know what I'm saying? And then knowing was always, or knowledge and information was always associated with what? Reading, researching, talking to older people, talking to the elderly people, talking to the elders. So those are the ways that we learn more about who we are, where we come from, what we're all about, and what we should expect out of life, what we should expect out of certain situations and what we should expect out of culture,
But
out of this culture.
unfortunately, though, even when you're saying going to our elders not even privy to that information because a lot of them didn't know where to go so they can tell you where to go look or where to get it. So it's like this whole generation now, our generation who was introduced when the internet or the information age began. So their generation, once the information age began till now, all of us now should all have and be able to share information amongst each other in order to claim or get our birthright or everything that is deserved to you, your family, whatever.
Correct.
And watching this is just like, all right, so how do I want to say it? It's almost like we off to see the wizard type shit. You got the courageous nigga who don't read, but then you got his elder who got all this book knowledge that's traveling with him. But he's shaky. He ain't got a heart.
Exactly.
It's a lot of little. I mean, it's a lot of symbolism as far as like what they're saying. It's a lot of symbolism as far as these little monsters that's coming up out of the ground that has like 80 eyes on their heads. I'm like, I see all of this little like.
Oh, it's a lot of Easter eggs in that show.
So how many episodes have you seen? Just the one or
two? I've seen all three.
Fuck. So you ahead of me. I ain't get to see I didn't watch last night's episode. So
okay, so I'm not gonna mention last night's episode. All I'm gonna say is you need to watch it.
I put like this, it's a lot of symbolism, even to the point of the trying to okay, so what did you get from the sorry people if we're spoiling anything, but I'm really into this fucking this season and episode. But what did you think of this whole John where trying to recreate the Garden of Eden through this nigga?
Okay, so the first thing
I didn't understand the slave woman at the end either.
Well, that's his mother. That's his ancestor. No, that's his ancestor. That's how he came. That's the woman that I believe his name was Titus Braithwaite.
So is this a symbolism for getting our reparations?
Well, hold on. Let's get to let's back up first.
All right, go ahead.
So the slave lady that's the slave owners. That's who he had children by, right? So when it showed,
got you.
Yeah, that's his ancestor. So you think about that, right? So what happens when they're doing the
that's how his bloodline, that's how he got involved.
Right, exactly. So when they had to use him, they had to use his bloodline to try to open up the gateway to the Garden of Eden, right? So when they open up supposedly that door, who does he see? He sees her, right? So essentially, she is the origin of what they are looking for. But what happens is the power that comes from him that they're trying to get from it, that they're trying to use him for, is their garden is growing on Tick's hands and his body and all that kind of stuff, right? It's growing on him, and then he has a reaction, and then once that reaction takes place, it destroys the entire lodge.
My nigga turned into a pillar of salt and shit.
Yeah, that's what they did. They all, yeah, exactly. They all did, right? They all did. Because whatever they were beholding, they weren't worthy of beholding it. They weren't worthy of seeing it.
Gotcha.
And so the power from that, it froze them where they were, and they were destroyed because they were not worthy of what they weren't supposed to see. They weren't worthy of that. So I also noticed from the picture, if you remember the picture of the man and the woman, the serpent was the man's penis.
Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that, and I was like,
So
"Is that what I thought?" I'm like, "That can't be."
Yeah. So that's another level of
the picture was,
symbolism.
and it was like the picture was, and when the girl in her room when she was having her little dream, my nigga unzipped his pants. That junk came out. Hey,
exactly.
Some guys call it a serpent too, my nigga.
Right. So, so if you think about that,
what you gonna do with that boy?
So if you think about it, the uncle who was the wise man, right? The uncle was the wise man. He was the reader, and he was a writer as well. So he explained to them that, what did he say to them? He said, they're messing with our heads, right? But they're using our fears or our...
I thought it was using their vices.
Yeah, exactly. They were using their vices and their fears against them.
Because his vice was trying to gain more knowledge. Once that nigga opened up all them books, that nigga was, he didn't leave his room.
Right, exactly. So when it came down to the young lady, Tick's girlfriend, it was like her issues with men growing up, but it was her lack of having direction and being loved at home, which made her go in that direction. And then with Tick, when he had the vision that he was fighting the lady from the war, it was dealing with what his issue was and what he was, what he was facing. And so seeing that and seeing the symbolism in that, it did a lot for me, saying that these are the things that we're confronted with daily within this culture, within this culture, within this structure, like the drugs and alcohol, the women, misogyny, the things that we sometimes get tripped up by, even the things that we may want to try to go after become a hindrance to us. And we have to be reminded that we have to elevate our level of thinking beyond what we may want, right? Because our wants don't always match up what we actually need. So, and even the things that we want can be good for us or good to us, but maybe not the right timing, not the right place, not the right person, and so forth and so on. So I understood,
gaining knowledge isn't a bad thing, or sitting there reading the books and gaining the knowledge. But hey, I understand you gaining some knowledge, but there's some other stuff that's going on while you're gaining the knowledge. You can't just sit in your room and act like ain't nothing's going on. So
right. So it's, it's got to be applied knowledge as well. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so and that was the thing I think that I understood from that. So I'm still some other aspects. Because I'm actually going to go back and watch all 3 episodes again.
Because you're going to miss. Because actually, I
know I missed some stuff.
Because I know I rewatched episode 1, and I was like, it was some stuff that I missed then. I was like, okay, all right. So yeah, it's a very, so if you trust our opinions or whatever, well, I'm iffy about watching this episode because they welcome they doing like Ouija board type of stuff in it, and I ain't I'm kind of iffy on shows or movies when they be having stuff like that, and so I don't know, but I will say for right now, it's a pretty good episode, but just for people who are kind of scary or iffy on the spirits within shows or symbolisms of that, just be mindful of that. But for right now, so far the first 2 episodes I watched, pretty good. Is it a short scene, short episode, or are they conjuring? They're actually conjuring some things on that joint.
You had to watch it yourself.
Okay, so it's probably not what I think. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you gotta watch it.
All right, cool. So
yeah, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it.
I'm only saying that because I know some people I who really do trust my advice or do like something. Then like, man, they had this in here, man. I was so I'll be with it. So I just wanted to make mention of that. And
put it like this. It's almost like Stranger Things meets Tales from the Hood.
Okay. That's what I was thinking too.
What I'm saying? Yeah, it's like Stranger Things meets Tales from the Hood. It's elements of sci-fi, elements of mystery, elements of African spirituality, African Christianity. Yeah. You just gotta watch episode 3. Yeah, you just gotta watch episode 3. Just pay attention to it, and then we can rap about it.
Speaking of elements of mystery, let's talk about so it's gonna be 2 things of elements of mystery on this one. Let's talk about your boy always releasing music when God's son always drops something.
I got a great theory for that too.
Now, there is a list. I forgot the list, but there is a list of dates that shows every time when Nas has dropped an album. And what I'm speaking of, people, is Jay-Z always releasing music or dropping albums around the same time that Nas drops an album. And didn't really think it was going to happen this time. Nas came out with an album. Jay-Z didn't come out with an album. He was like, hey, what? My nigga dropped a single.
Right.
Which was funny because of the simple fact I saw more people talking about the Black Entrepreneur single over the Nas album.
Well,
which is crazy.
Some reasons for that.
But I will say the Nas album is a little better than the other albums that I've heard. But I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just not a fan.
I would say that you're just not a Nas fan. So
yeah, I think I'm not a fan.
You're just not a Nas fan. And that's okay, but you're just not a Nas fan. But the album, like, I love the album. Like, I don't think it's his best work, but to be almost 50 and still good, and still great at what you do is impressive. Like, and I think he listened. Also, I think he listened to the fans when people talked about him not being a great beat picker. He went and got one of the hottest, dopest producers that's out right now to produce his album.
And I can understand the I can understand the J. Cole comparisons.
Yeah,
I can see it. I really can see it now, especially through this album. I can see that.
Yeah, well, I mean, J. Cole looked up to Nas. He made a song about Nas. I want to let Nas down. So when you listening to J. Cole, that's Nas is probably his favorite rapper, one of his idols. So you can see that. But no, the theory that I have about Jay dropping music when Nas does around the same time. A couple things about Jay-Z, and you need to read the book. Jay-Z. Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry, people.
About Michael.
He's thinking of this.
It's
People,
by Michael Eric Dyson. Go ahead.
you need to holler at the Baking Butler at the Baking Butler or GF Bites at GF Bites. This vegan, gluten-free version of a DoubleTree cookie. It's fucking amazing.
Nice plug for GF Bites right there. Check out GF Bites.
GF Bites.
So yeah, back to, so you got to look at a couple things, right? Jay and Nas both, they're both competitors, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're both masters of their craft. And after their beef was done, Jay and Nas, they linked up and they started doing projects together. Jay is gonna forever be a competitor, like forever. Jay's a competitor, like he is a competitor. Nas is a competitor, but in the situation when we talk about that, like I'm pretty sure that they know when each other's gonna drop music. I can almost guarantee they do. I can guarantee you that they know each other's gonna drop music. Like there's no way.
But Nas acted oblivious. Nas acted oblivious to it. Like
obviously he will, and the reason why Nas is gonna act oblivious to that is because Nas is actually, people are listening to this album, and it adds to the mystique of the whole. Jay always drops music around the time Nas drops music. It's a conversation. It's something that keeps that thing going. Right. And so, yeah, if I'm Nas, I'm gonna act like I don't know Jay gonna drop music either, even though I know he gonna drop it. I'm gonna act like I don't know, because that keeps me relevant. That keeps both of us relevant. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point in time, it's not about selling records for them. It's really about the culture for them. But in order to still be relevant to the culture, is being relevant. So, Nas ain't like, because Nas has put out music in the last 2-3 years. Like Nas has been putting music out, even though it's an EP or something, like what he did with what he did with Ye, and he brought the Lost Tapes 2 out last year. So Nas has been putting some stuff out. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he just been sitting on his hands. But you also have to realize the things that they do outside of music, that a new album from them, when somebody Googles a new Nas album, they find out Nas has invested in Twitter, right? Or Tesla or whoever or whatever tech companies that he's put money into.
Oh, speaking of, dude.
I already did. I already did.
All right.
I already did. I already did. So
bite out apple.
So absolutely. So what that does for both of them, being that they are the two eminent, they're kind of like, at this point in time, they're pretty much number one and number two as far as when you talk about the greatest MCs that are still alive. They're right there 1 and 2 on most people's radar, or most people's lists. Like, it just makes sense for them to drop music around at the same time. It just makes sense for them to be mentioned together. It's kind of like Ali and Frazier. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, it's kind of like, Kobe and Allen Iverson, or Kobe and Shaq. You know what I'm saying? It's like mentioning, Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson playing against each other, or I would say Michael Jordan and Barkley or somebody like that around that same time competing against each other. So when that happens, like I'm never surprised. Like, people are talking about that, but I'm never surprised because, again, we talking Jay. Like, he puts out a song, like anybody, like everybody's like hoping for a Jay verse. You didn't like what?
I didn't like the song.
What song?
The Jay-Z song that was dropped when the Nas album came out. I didn't like the song.
I don't know why you don't like it.
I mean, I understand the message.
And that's the most important part. That's the most important part.
Man, that's like saying self-destruction.
No, sir. No, sir. At the climate that
That's
we're
like
in.
talking about self-destruction is really bumping. Like, okay, it was a good song, true, and because of the message, but it's self-destruction.
But we ain't talking about that. We talking about at this point in time what you want to do. Like, what would you want one of the most famous black men to ever walk the face of the earth to be talking about? You want him to be talking about black business.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
I've been talking black business and being black entrepreneur for the last like 4 years, but niggas been laughing at me talking about nigga whatever. Okay,
but you ain't Jay-Z. I mean, I'm just saying, you ain't Jay-Z.
I'm Baby J.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you have to realize that when you have a voice and when you're speaking, you know, you speaking to something that people can relate to, like you can relate to what he's saying. So it validates what you're saying, what you've already been saying. So, and one thing we have to get to in our culture, we got to really step away from being concerned about who said or did something first or who's been doing it the longest.
This is true.
It doesn't matter.
This is true.
It doesn't matter.
It's just when you're the first trying to do it, people shit on you, especially when they're not doing it or whatever like that. People look at you like you crazy or whatever. So if you're strong enough to deal with that.
Yeah. Because everybody's not going to be an entrepreneur. You can support entrepreneurship by purchasing products and purchasing services, but everybody's not going to be one. So, you know, we both wear that hat. So when I heard the song, man, I was excited because I loved it because it teaches a message and tells and talks about what we do every day. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I'm buying some Cripple Cola. You know what I'm saying? Like, they's out of stock right now. But if I had a store, I would stock Cripple Cola.
So, okay. So before the song,
Killer Mike been talking about it for like 2 years.
Oh, okay, I'm finna say you act like you just now hearing about Cripple Cola.
No. I'm just saying, no. If even still, like I'm saying, whether I bought it 2 years ago or I buy it now, support is support. Like whether you know you influence me to buy Apple stock or whether somebody else influenced me to do it. Or to buy stock in the biggest black bank, like whoever, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, speaking of, they just merged.
You know, absolutely.
It was two. I can't think of the name of them, but it was two black banks that just merged to be one of the biggest banks in America.
Yeah, it's over $1 billion in assets.
Yeah. I can't think of the two names, but listeners, if you want to, go ahead and Google that shit because I want to say if that is the case, they should be publicly traded. So you might want to invest in it. I had pinned it, but I can't think of I can't seem to pull it up on my phone right now. But yeah. Just look up two major black banks merge or something like that within the past couple of days, and you should see that. So, if you're looking for investment idea or whatever, that's one to go on.
It's a City First Bank and Broadway Federal Bank. Located Broadway Federal is located in LA. And City First is located in Washington, D.C. So shout out to both of those organizations that joined together.
Shout out to the Apple split.
Yeah, and the Tesla
sound like a nice little dish to eat. The Apple split was good. Speaking of, also, if they don't talk about this on everyday regular news, so not really sure anybody who is an investor, but if you haven't, you might want to pick up some Tesla stock if you can afford it. They too are about to get ready to split, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it already split today.
Oh, I did?
Yes, sir. Both of them did.
I didn't see that, John.
Yeah, you better check it out because I bought some this morning.
I did. I mean, I did too, but it wasn't split at the time. So whatever that split into. So yeah, I got it, but I wasn't sure because when I was looking at it earlier, it was still showing that it was just one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Oh, and there are some EFTs to look into on it also. I want to say there's one called ARK, ARKK or something like that. They are EFT that have a lot of shares invested into Tesla. So if you can't afford Tesla stock, you can get an EFT. I want to say that, John, is like $60 or maybe it's $90 right now.
Yep. Tesla 5-for-1 forward split went into effect August 31st. Apple 4-for-1 split went into effect August 31st. So both of them today.
Okay, bet that.
Yeah, and I got both.
Bet that. Just let that junk keep climbing.
Absolutely.
Or
absolutely.
Go ahead and scoop up something while it's at the low price.
Exactly.
If you got some change, because I want to say, man, a lot of y'all, real talk, y'all smoke 125, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Y'all smoke 125. You can. This is gonna 125 that's gonna make you more 125s. If you think of it in this aspect, I mean, especially this Tesla junk, you're gonna get 125 by Friday. You're gonna get your 125 back.
Hey man.
Apple not moving that same fast. It's slow. It's like the tortoise money. Tesla, that rabbit money. It'll stop and then it'll keep going on up. So
and I would say just from a perspective of investing is, find you a sound, solid financial planner, an investment banker, not just somebody who reads articles and magazines, which that's good. You know what I'm saying? That's good. We'll find you somebody who's in that profession.
Nigga, that's what Warren Buffett did. All he just did was read magazines.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's Warren Buffett though. That's Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is from another planet, I think. I don't think Warren Buffett's human. I think Warren Buffett's alien. I think he's an alien or something. For real. Because I mean, I love him. I love him. I love Buffett. I love his story.
Nigga, you already got me coughing like a motherfucker.
But Buffett he's like something else. You know what I'm saying? I put Buffett, I put Buffett in the same bag as a Jay or Obama or somebody. Like they're in a different bag. Like they're just in a different bag. Dude became a billionaire after he turned 40. Like he amassed like 80% of his wealth. Warren Buffett amassed like 80 to 90% of his wealth after he turned 40.
But that's most of us. I mean, well, I ain't gonna say us, like I'm a millionaire, but look at Jay. Yeah. Jay ain't really started, like he wasn't even really, I ain't gonna say he wasn't really, but started making his money as far as rapping when he was in his late 30s, and then he started making his money in his 40s.
Close to it. Yeah. So I
Dame Dash too. All of I mean, so it's like you start understanding money better, or that information, you're not even privy to that information until like 35, 40.
Yeah.
And I hate that. I'm like, dude, this information, it was right here all along. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. And that's why you pass it down to the next generation so they can get it early. They can get it much sooner. They can get it a lot sooner.
What else you got?
I got one other thing. This. Go ahead.
Let me go ahead and explain because it's so many I gotta put out here. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. I mean, that shit just came out of nowhere. I knew that nigga been looking sick because I was like, even doing the dunking contest last year, I was like, should that nigga be out on the court? What's wrong with him?
Yeah.
But rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. Rest in peace, Cliff Robertson. That nigga passed. What was it, yesterday? No,
he was actually, I think it was the same day or either the day after Chadwick passed.
Okay. Somebody else that passed.
John Thompson, legendary coach.
Yeah, John Thompson.
First black coach to win an NCAA championship. Yep, John Thompson, Georgetown.
And I know some episodes have passed, but I will say rest in peace, Breonna Taylor. They still shucking and jiving with their BS. And actually, I just read where they tried to get somebody to plea a deal to say that she was a co-defendant in selling drugs with this man.
Yeah, which is trash. That whole thing is a setup from the word go. But it's gonna come out though.
I'm like,
all of it's gonna come out.
Yeah. It is, but I'm like, if all of that was the case, how come we wasn't on their police on their report that y'all was supposed to have filed that ain't got nothing but your names?
Yeah, exactly. So
get out here with that.
It's all gonna come out. It's all gonna come out. So because there's too many eyes on the situation now.
So just want to put that out there, Breonna Taylor, and ain't nobody forgot about you, sweetheart. Yeah. So they still pulling up information, trying to make your name taste like ass. But hey, people out here still representing you in the right way. People still trying to get these people to justice. So man, these folks be foul, man. Police, man, these folks dirty. And then the other dirty thing to do to the Jacob Blake, this nigga said he ain't never watched the video. And from the look of it, ain't trying to watch the video.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? The police chief there in Kenosha?
Yeah, he's seen that video.
I'm sure he's seen it. And then he said with this little smirk and smile on his face, like, nigga, what's funny?
Yeah, he's seen that video. I know, yeah.
What is funny?
Yeah, he's seen that.
And it's crazy. You know, I've been up in Kenosha before. They racist as hell up there. And when I say I've been up there, this is when I used to be in the streets traveling. I've been up there, and yeah, I've experienced that. I've experienced it, John. So yeah. I can understand that totally out there.
And this ain't the South, so
it's not the South at all. It's like an hour away. It's an hour away from Illinois.
Yeah.
Or two. It's like 2 hours away from Illinois, I think.
Yeah. So, this kind of stuff is going on. It's been going on all over the country. But yeah, man, praying for that brother's family, praying for his children, because they definitely gonna need therapy. They definitely gonna need therapy, prayer, everything. And the last thing I had was, really, protect your own peace and sanity during these times.
Yes.
If you need to unplug from social media for a while, if you need to, take time to,
you're not gonna miss nothing.
Yeah, you're not gonna miss anything.
You're not missing nothing.
If you need to take time to, put your hands in the grass and, walk barefoot in the yard. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, you laughing? That shit work.
Yeah, no, I know it does. I know it does.
Take your shoes off. Take your socks off. Take your, like, if you're wearing flip flops, come up out the flip flops. Yeah. All of that shit, and just squish your little toes. Do it like around 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. get the little wet dew on your toe and all that. Just and earth.
So So
earth with earth.
earth with earth. Go see your therapist. Talk to your counselors. You know what I'm saying? Take your meds.
All day. All day, baby. Take your meds.
Glad to see another day. Glad to be back rocking and doing our thing. So,
Speaking of, this is a close to home. Rest in peace, DJ Cutter.
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw that he had passed yesterday or something like that. I was like, what?
I think it was. Yeah, it was like right, like a bunch of, like bad news, like right back to back to back. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, rest in peace, DJ Cutter, man.
So yeah, and I say that hit close home because it's like once it's somebody that you really, I ain't gonna say I really know him, but when it's somebody that you hear and see or whatever, like, man. So I don't know if it was because of the COVID thing or what's going on or anything like that, but I was like, man, everybody, and we getting around that age where.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Don't be ignoring your signs that your body is giving you to take a break.
Yeah.
Your body gives you signals just like your computer gives you a signal that you got a virus.
Yeah.
Hey, something going on. We detecting something. Go check it out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we get these signals and we're like, oh, that ain't nothing.
Mm-hmm.
No, ain't nothing. I get that later.
Yep.
Oh, you know what? I get that checked out next week.
Mm-hmm.
Your heart like, hey, usually it's like that check engine like, come on. We ignore that. I'm going to get some oil next week. No, that might not be what it is.
Exactly, man. You ain't lying.
Yeah. So that take a break from social media because right now at this point, we all in the same game right now. All in the same game. Real talk, some of us, like I was saying something that Lil Duval was saying, some of us, real talk, are in better situations than some of the celebrities that you see on social media right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Some of your favorite celebrity that you're following right now, you're in a better predicament or situation than your celebrity. So all I'm saying is the people that you're following that you think that you need to be like right now, whatever like this, we're all in the same boat.
That's true.
We all on the same level right now. We're all on the same board.
Mm-hmm.
So take your break, take whatever is needed. If they don't miss you, hey, they ain't fuck with you to begin with. That's why what I said in the beginning, I fuck with who fuck with me.
Right. And that's how it should always
people
be.
People who reach out and who's checking on you and your well-being, on you and your people, on you and your folks. That's actually saying, hey man, I'm praying for you. I'm praying. And that's the other thing. Watch the people who say that they praying for you. Because real talk, yeah, they might be praying for you, but they praying for your downfall or some shit.
Yeah.
They praying that you don't succeed. They praying that something happened to you.
Yeah.
They ain't praying for no good stuff. So be mindful of that too.
Yeah. Them prayers don't count anyway.
Well, yeah.
Them prayers don't count.
But I'm just saying, be mindful of the people who say that they say that they doing something, because usually prayers follow actions.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them actions ain't follow. Them actions don't follow them prayers. So that's all I'm saying. So I hate to follow this with me saying prayer, but again, I fuck with those who fuck with me.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Always, man.
Hell, I
Always.
might actually have to label this episode. Fuck with those who fuck with me. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to put it so abrasive out there like that.
No.
Yeah, ain't gonna be abrasive. I already put that cap and gown out there like that. So somebody here be like, Jason, cap and gown. Yeah. It was very appropriate.
This guy right here. Actually, it was appropriate. I approved that message.
It was a very appropriate title for the episode, especially for everything that we was talking about. So yeah. I want to, okay, there's one other thing because I know it's going on right now and I know that we are missing it and I wanted to rap about it because there's a lot of stuff that we have, that, like I said, we've missed out on or whatever, but Monica versus Brandy, honestly, I really did not think that the internet was going to be blowing up like they have, but who you think finna win this joint?
I don't know. I really don't care because I'm not really... Like, I
only brought it up because we had episodes only about Brandy and how people be sleeping on Brandy and all that other type of shit.
Yeah, like, well, you know, it's going on. It's actually going on right now.
Right.
I'm really not interested. I just don't really have any interest in it. I like Brandy's music. I like Monica's music. But it's not something that I feel like I wanted to actually take my time and listen to, like the whole, you know, like I wasn't just really interested in it like that. You know, of course, the ladies, they grew up in that time, that, you know, era. They're excited about it, but I wasn't. Like, I'll check the highlights.
Right.
I check the highlights from them, whatever, right. But I wouldn't, you know, if it was probably, I don't know, if it was maybe Mary J. Blige and Faith Evans or something like that, I probably would have tuned in, you know, because I'm more into them. But
Mary J. beat that.
Yeah, she would. Yeah. But you know, a lot of times they just doing it for the culture anyway. So
right.
You know, it's just for the fans, entertain, keep people dancing and moving, you know, while we get through this pandemic. So, but I'm not really. Like, I ain't really interested in Brandy and Monica. Man,
Brandy and Monica, like, the boys mine looking at his niggas now.
Like, I ain't just, like, you know, it's cool, but, you know, I wouldn't just listen to it.
One other question. You going back to the movie theaters, man? I keep seeing these commercials talking about only in theaters. Like, dude, quit playing with me. I'm not going to see The Tenant in the movie theater. If you don't drop this shit off, Netflix already mine. But I really want to see that, John. It looked like the Black Matrix or something.
Yeah. And I think there's some elements of that there. In Tenet, some Matrix Easter eggs, Matrix elements in Tenet. So it's gonna be good to check out. Shout out to John David Washington. Man, his career is blowing up, man.
It is
blowing up, and I'm sure his parents are happy, you know.
But you are not going back to the movie theaters.
No, sir. Nah.
Not for a while or ever?
Sir. No, not for a while. No, it's probably gonna be you know, depending on how things look this time next year, maybe the year after that, but I ain't that.
Honestly,
I'm not that interested.
Honestly, I haven't seen a point why people wanted to go to begin with.
Well, it's the movie theater experience.
I don't mean to begin with, but like in this day and age now, like why would you want to go?
For the experience, you know, you know, it's different sitting in front of a big screen, eating popcorn in surround sound, watching a movie, you know what I'm saying?
Most people get TVs. Most people TVs are bigger than the movie screen in the movie theater right now. I know people who get like real talk, if you got a 70-inch, 75, 80-inch TV in your house, there's no reason to go to the movies.
Yeah, but that's, again, like it's just the experience. It's just the experience. That's all it is. When I talked about culture, there's just a part of American culture is going to the movie theater, man. So that's all it is. Just the
the culture of going to you spending like $65 on the food, popcorn,
Mm-hmm.
to sit amongst other people that's talking while you watching the movie.
Yeah. And the popcorn so salty, you drink all your drink up that's full of ice.
Well, see, that's why you have to get a slushy, sir. You get you get a slush. Yeah, you get the slush, and then you get a popcorn. Yeah, balance it all out. You gotta know how to do it, man.
I'm a nachos guy. I get the nachos. I probably,
I can't do the nachos because you're telling me it's nachos when all it is cheese and chips. It's cheese dip. It ain't like I got meat and onions and some other shit on that joint. Not even no barbecue sauce. You're just getting cheese and chips.
Well,
and you can pay $7.50 for that.
You don't eat meat no way, so it don't matter to you.
This is true. I just never did the nacho while I was at the movie theater. I was like, what the thing? If you don't give me some of this popcorn with all the butter.
I think they're gonna start selling tofu on them, just so you might be in luck.
I ain't never ate tofu. Never ate tofu. Never will. No. It ain't real. Again, it's void. Again, it's void of color, sir. We had this discussion.
I know it. I had it one time before. It was like eating rubber. And I never eaten rubber before, so I just guessed. It's like eating a comforter set.
All I say, sir, you left yourself open in so many ways, but I just
Yeah, I know I did. I was waiting on it, but I was like,
no. I shall not attack my black brother today. Oh boy.
Thank you for your mercy, man.
I got another question, but I think I'm gonna leave that for us to ponder and think of for next episode. And that question is, hey, do you think Bruce Willis is the greatest actor of all time?
No, Denzel Washington is. End of discussion. Doesn't even come close. You said Bruce Willis?
Well, maybe one of. I mean, of course you're not like saying this the one and only, but I mean, you have a whole lot of actors, but Bruce Willis, the main range is.
Bruce Willis plays the same person.
Does he?
Yes,
he don't play the same person.
Yes, he does. Bruce Willis plays the same person.
And
we'll discuss this in the next episode. But Bruce Willis plays the same person.
Now you're making me look at it in a totally different light now. The fuck?
Exactly. That's all you gotta do. Just watch Die Hard. Watch the military movies he does.
So you're only thinking about it from Die Hard.
Watch the movies. No, sir. I said watch Die Hard. Watch the military movies that he does. Watch the movies where he even plays like a dad or something like that. He's the same person in every movie. He just
you
plays
remember him in
characters.
Moonlighting?
I remember that show. Yeah, in that TV show. Yeah. Okay. He's still the same person. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll compare his catalog to Denzel Washington, and we'll compare the movies.
Yeah.
And I guess another question would be that I want to. We ain't talk about census, but yeah, okay. Census. The other one will be census, and should you be able to say whatever you want in a relationship?
Yeah, we need an episode for that. So say that the next episode. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to cover in that.
So go ahead and wrap this joint up. this was much needed to get back, because I felt like if we didn't do it this week, we will never get back into the swing of things or whatever like that. So glad we did it. Glad to get a few things out there. Glad to catch our fans back up on some things or whatever like that. Give them something to listen to, because you know they're like, dog, I ain't even listen to my episode. So thank you, day ones. Thank you, new listeners. Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you for allowing to give us a break to process all of these emotions and everything else. I know y'all probably just as going as crazy as I am. So we appreciate y'all. And we back. What you got?
Back. That's it, man. Just thank everybody, man, for continuing to support us and just keep doing your thing, man. Everybody keep your head up, keep your eyes open, and stay focused. Stay prayed up, and love on each other. That's all I got.
Check on your people. Check on your family. Check on your friends. Fuck with those who fuck with you.
There you go.
And it's okay to take a break, people. These people, you think that they love you like they do. There are some who do. But trust and believe, those who do, they don't mind you taking a break.
That's right.
They don't mind you taking a break one bit. So I'll go ahead and end it on that note. I am your host, Jason J. Will Does It. I got my bucket hat brethren over here. Ivan the Grizzly, Greats. And we are the Off on a Tangent podcast up in this junt.
Yes, we are in this junt.
JUNT. And we about this junt.
All right. Holla back.